Sorry, let's just forget about our conversation this time. I've been single my whole life, and it's been about 6 months since I registered at a matchmaking agency. During that time, I've been turned down by women a total of 6 times. Well, if it's okay, can you tell me what put you off? Was it my age, or maybe my income? I wanted to know what I did wrong this time, so I asked the woman I was meeting with. No, I mean, I'm 35 and I don't mind that you're 43. I think you earn pretty well. It's not those two things. It's just what? Well, I don't know how to put this, but something about you doesn't really click with me. Oh, I see. I'm sorry. Upon hearing the woman's words, I let out a sigh. Really? And I said, thank you, to her, then paid the entire bill for our coffee at the cafe. It's a rule at the matchmaking service I'm part of that the man pays for the coffee. By the way, the fact that men pay more is also true for the monthly membership fee. Men have to pay 3 times as much as the female members. I make a decent salary for a regular employee, but it still feels like a significant expense. My name is Brian, a 43-year-old bachelor. The number of years I've been single matches the years I've lived. In a desperate attempt to change my life's course, I joined the matchmaking service, but every woman I meet says the same thing. There's something about you that just doesn't sit right with me. I've scoured books on dating etiquette, and I always make sure I look presentable. Yet, here I am. What am I supposed to do from now on? I half whined to my coworker, Tom, as I usually do. Hey, calm down, everything will work out. At the bar, he gave me a reassuring pat on the back. By the way, this guy, he's happily married with 3 kids. It'll work out, you say. I don't want to hear that from someone as happy as you. With a wry smile, Tom added, my wife and I, we're like 2 peas in a pod. The moment we met, we both just knew. Is there really such a thing as a destined meeting? I believe there is. I mean, we've built a happy family. Heck, our eldest is about to go to middle school. Look, Tom showed me a picture on his phone of his child. But when I saw that picture, my eyes were drawn to a woman standing next to Tom's daughter. Who's that? I asked. That's my daughter's teacher, Catherine. Pretty, isn't she? But believe it or not, she's almost 40. Yet, she's still single. I feel like I've seen her somewhere, or maybe not. Suddenly, I felt a strange connection with this woman. Did you feel something? Maybe. I think I might have. I wonder why. Oddly enough, I found myself missing that woman named Catherine Smith. Strange, isn't it? I've never even met her. Should we consider a matchmaking date then? A matchmaking date? Yes. Apparently, she's been getting quite a few offers, but she hasn't found anyone she really clicks with. She mentioned it in passing during a meeting. Well, maybe it's fate. If she's okay with it, can we arrange it? I'll reach out to her tomorrow to see. Tom seemed really excited about the idea. Even after I stopped looking at her picture on my phone, I couldn't get her face out of my mind. That feeling persisted even after I got home. There was no one else at home to distract me. Up until the year before last, returning home would clear my mind. I'm home, Mom. I told my mother's photo, which was placed on the family altar. My mom, whom I lived with up until 2 years ago, had fallen ill and passed away all too suddenly. That's when I started seriously considering marriage. Perhaps it's a regret for not letting her see her grandchild, or maybe I just can't bear being alone. Besides marriage hunting, there was another thing I had been doing. Oh, the PA agency is calling. Hello, I see. Still no lead, huh? The call was about my twin brother, who's still missing. I have a twin brother. However, he was given up for adoption when we were very young, and I have no idea where he is now. Since finding out about my mom's illness, I've been using several PI agencies to try and locate him, but to no avail. I wish I could have at least let you meet him, I whispered, gazing at my mother's photo. Mom raised us all by herself. I don't really remember our father. He left us when we were very young. Mom worked tirelessly ever since, which eventually took a toll on her health. Raising my brother and me with her condition was challenging, and my mom, having no relatives, was advised by a close friend to consider adoption. Reluctantly, she decided to give up my brother for adoption. Despite being a child, my brother understood the situation. He said, "I'm the older one, so I can handle being away from Mom. I can get along with a new mom and dad, so I'll go to a new home." I still remember the image of my brother offering himself for adoption. Later, I heard the adoptive parents moved abroad for work, and we lost touch with them. Now, I have no idea where he is. Brother, even if I call out, my missing brother won't answer. Tears welled up in my eyes, and I wiped them away. Not long after, the day of my matchmaking date with Catherine arrived surprisingly soon. She herself had responded, expressing her keen interest to meet me. From what Tom said, she had lived abroad for quite some time and was a very straightforward and efficient lady. I heard she'd never been married. The matchmaking date was set at a hotel restaurant, with Tom accompanying us. Upon reaching the hotel lobby for our meetup, the two of them were already there. Catherine looked even more beautiful and youthful than her pictures. I was captivated by her for a moment. After she took a long, hard look at my face, she nodded slowly. We took our seats at the restaurant, exchanged greetings, and introduced ourselves. All the while, she kept staring intently at my face. No, it wasn't just staring. It felt like she was drilling holes with her eyes. "What's going on? It's just a matchmaking date, but being stared at like this is making me nervous. I wonder if there's something on my face or something's wrong." Tom was looking at her with a curious expression. After the introductions, time flew smoothly, with Tom keeping the mood lively. She had a cheerful personality and was easy to talk to. Tom's cell phone rang midway, so he excused himself, leaving the two of us alone in the room. Suddenly, she looked serious and asked, "Haven't we met before?" I told her I felt the same, but when Tom came back, she fell silent. We then decided on the next day to meet and agreed to go out for dinner. I booked the barbecue place she had mentioned, making sure we had a private room to chat comfortably. No sooner had I taken my seat than she eagerly began speaking. "Just as I thought. You look just like my bro, Steve. You're his spitting image." That's what she said to me. Excuse me, I didn't understand what she meant. "How do you know my brother's name?" Upon asking that, she shared an astonishing story. "Well, it's not about knowing. Steve is my adopted brother." What? I couldn't believe my ears. What does she mean? She's Steve's sister. How is that possible? I couldn't grasp the situation. "But why do you two look so alike?" Catherine stared at me intently before continuing. "Do you remember? We met once when we were kids. I was there the day your brother left his biological family." "Oh, the little girl from back then," I recalled upon hearing Catherine's words. "The day I parted ways with my brother. The family that took my brother in had a little girl with them. That's why when I saw your picture on my phone, it clicked. Same for me. It clicked when I saw your photo. I wanted to meet you. I wanted to meet you." We said the same words in unison. Realizing how in sync we were, we both burst out laughing. She avoided discussing it during the matchmaking date because she wasn't sure how much Tom was aware of the situation. "So, how's Steve doing? I lost contact with your family. I've tried hiring private investigators to find him, but with no luck. I wanted to tell him about our mom's passing. If it's okay, I'd like to meet him." Saying that, she looked downcast and lowered her gaze. "Is it hard for you to say about Steve?" Catherine remained silent, looking down. "What happened to my brother? Please, tell me." With a sorrowful look, Catherine told me about my brother's current situation. Steve has leukemia. What? Leukemia? Catherine softly uttered the name of the disease my brother was suffering from. When I heard that word, I was reminded of the day we lost our mom. I was consumed with fear that my brother might pass away just like our mom. Leukemia isn't incurable. It's a treatable disease. But we can't seem to find a compatible donor. I was tested but was not a match. We've lost both our parents, so he's the only family I have left. I desperately want to help him. Tears spilled from Catherine's eyes. The next day, I took a day off from work and rushed to the hospital. When I opened the door to the room, there was my brother, sleeping on the bed. Even as we got older, our faces remained strikingly similar. And incredibly, our reunion was able to save my brother from his illness. Who would have thought, being saved by my long-lost younger brother? I was just as shocked to think that my matchmaking date's adopted brother was my actual brother. We shared many feelings and stories in that hospital room. After hearing from Catherine, I immediately got tested and became a bone marrow donor for my brother. And after the bone marrow transplant, my brother made a remarkable recovery. Being identical twins, the bone marrow was a perfect match. So, what's the deal with you and Catherine? What are you talking about? I've been getting regular updates from Catherine. Seems like you two are meeting up frequently, using me as an excuse. After that matchmaking date, Catherine and I met several times because of my brother's situation. With each meeting, I found myself growing fonder of her. So, have you confessed your feelings to her? Well, she must have someone she's interested in, right? If there was such a man, you wouldn't be set up on a blind date with him. Steve, who had just risen from the bed, said with a chuckle. Maybe I should confess my feelings after all. It seems like she's been waiting for you to confess to her, Steve said with a gentle smile. It felt like a dream to be able to laugh and talk like this with Steve after having been apart for so long. Maybe it was my mom who brought us back together, I said pensively. I plan to visit Mom's grave once I'm discharged, remembering our late mother upon hearing Steve's words. Mom always wanted to see you, Steve. Thanks to you, I finally got to. Thank you. Thank you too, Steve, for fighting through your illness and staying with us. Steve and I hugged each other tightly, shoulders touching. And then we closed our eyes, thinking of our late mother. Time flew by quickly after that. See you later, I'm off. Hey, Grace, have you said goodbye to Grandma? Yes, bye Grandma, I'm off now. Standing in front of the home altar, our family bade farewell to our mother. Today is our daughter Grace's special 5th birthday celebration. Not long after that day, Catherine and I started dating, and within a year, we were married. Grace, who was born the following year, turns 5 this year. Hey, do you think this dress looks good on me? It looks wonderful on you. Oh, let's take a photo later. Do you think Uncle Steve will be happy to see me in this dress? Of course, he will be thrilled. Yay. Grace was over the moon at Catherine's words. Steve, who is still single, dotes on Grace as if she were his own daughter, and Grace is very fond of him. One day, I want to marry Uncle Steve. The things she comes up with. It made me take a trip down memory lane. Indeed, Catherine and I felt that spark between us, leading us to that matchmaking date, and here we are now. It truly was a destined meeting. I believe that one day, when Grace grows up, she'll meet someone who makes her heart skip a beat. As I look to the future, I deeply hope for that day, feeling grateful for having met Catherine and my brother, and for the chance given to us by Tom. I just want to spend every coming moment in happiness. That's what I believe.